those of you that are watching, go ahead, share this for me. We're gonna dig right on in to the template itself. This is the template, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It is laid out for you guys to be able to do everything you need. We have tracks for drums, we have keys, perc, bass, Rhodes, keys, aux, guitars, horns. We got the settings and channels and everything for lead vocals, all your effects, your buses, your aux buses, everything like that. Sopranos, altos, tenors, everything's set up to where you can drop this in just like the Logic template was. This is set up to where you can just drop your tracks in. It's not going to auto mix this thing for you, but it's going to give you the start. You're still going to have to know how to mix. You're still going to have to know how to know what you're doing and get in there and really know how to level. But this gets you about 85% of the way. And that's what we're going to attempt to show you guys tonight. And I'm going to run in and put in some tracks. We're going to gain stage them, and we're going to dig in and make them sound good. All right. Here's how you get this set up to go. Once you did it, you want to make sure that first of all that you log into your Avid account, and you want to make sure that you get all of this right here, because if you have the Pro Tools subscription, then you have access to all of these effects. So you want to make sure that you go in and download all of the effects that comes in, and download the latest version of Pro Tools, which is going to be 2022.7, and it might be later depending on when you're watching this, but you make sure you get that. And then in the template itself, you want to make sure that the last thing you want to make sure you do is go here to where it says options and activate heat, because that's off by default. So make sure that you activate heat, because that is a key component that makes this template sound as good as it does. All right. So you want to make sure that you do that. And then finally, you want to go ahead and save this as a template. You go save as template, and then you can install this. So the next time that you open up Pro Tools and you go to create, and from template, you'll see it down in your template list there, Gospelmixing template. All right. So just wanted to get that out of the way to show you guys how you can be able to install the plugin. So let's dig into this and let's actually mix something. All right. So let's dig in. Let's dig in deep here. I'm going to import some audio from a recent mix that I did. And so once you've imported your audio, instead of doing new track, go to clip list, put it in the clip list, because it's going to drop it over here on the side, which is going to allow you to bring these files in into the template. So we'll start with the drums. You always need to gain stage your files. So we're going to turn these, we're going to use clip gain in this case to bring these files, the volume of these files, all the way down, probably about negative, let's do negative 14, 15, right about there. I'm not touching faders or anything like that. All of the faders come in at 0, right? All of your faders are at 0. So you're going to make sure that you not even touching the faders themselves. We want to make sure that we can get this gain stage correctly. So now what I want to show you guys is the drum replacement. So we're going to go down to Audio Suite. We're going to go to Other, and we're going to go down here to this thing called Sound Replacer, which comes with Pro Tools. We're going to open this up. And the first thing you need to do, whatever track you're going to replace, whether it's this, the snare bottom, snare top, whatever, we'll click on the snare top. And this is the track that we're going to be looking at replacing. So I'm going to move in the middle, and it shows the transient, so I can see there's the snare transient right there, right? Comparable to what I'm seeing right here, right? So I'm going to hit this little disc icon, and then we're going to go to the template, Pro Tools template, And then there's a folder in here called drum samples, and we're going to replace it. You're going to use this one that's called trigger snare, right? Because we're doing the snare. So bringing that in, now I brought that in on here. You're going to just bring this little threshold down until you see a yellow tick on your snare. So like if I kind of move down here, I can see like my snares and stuff like that, and make sure that I'm getting those transients. And then we're going to render this. We're going to select the track we want as our target track, which is going to be the snare trigger track. Now, all I got to do is just hit render, and boom, just like that, I've added in my triggered snare. So let's look at it. Let's listen. So we've got that in there, right? All right, so now we're going to do the same thing with the kick. We're going to bring in our triggered kick. We'll click on the track that we want to replace. We'll go to Audio Suite, Other, Sound Replacer, and then I just move this little thing over so we can kind of get into the song and actually see the transients. Hit the little icon. It doesn't matter which one you do, but you can hit Open, drag this little icon down until you catch your kicks. And now all my kicks, and we're just gonna put it on the kick trigger track and then hit render, and boom, there's our kick. So let's jump into, if we just jump like down. So I got those toms up really, really loud now, so we can probably back off these toms a whole lot. So now we'll put in the perc. All right, I think I got all of my perc in. Again, we're gonna gain stage this all the way. All right, cool. So those sound good. Now, bass. Here's something that's really, really cool. You guys are going to love this about bass. This is something that is going to highly bless you. And so what I've done is giving you one channel where what I've done is separated both the high of the bass, the top end of the bass, and the sub of the bass. They are separated into two different channels, and we did this using EQ. So on the sub channel, I cut everything down, as you can see, a whole high pass filter or low pass filter, all the way down to 200, right? And then on the bass top, we cut everything up to 200, right? So there gives us a separation between the top and the bottom, right? And then we put a little tape on, these are all stock Pro Tools plugins. We put a little tape on the low end to warm it up, to give you some nice little sub. But the key is I put a distortion plugin, which 11 Light, again, stock Pro Tools plugin, on top of the top end. So you get distortion on the top and you get tape and some warmth on the bottom, right? Which gives you a sound like this. And what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to gain stage. So you get this sound. So if I take the distortion off, take the distortion off. See the difference? Now it sounds clean, right? But that distortion adds some edge to it. Let's hear it in the context of the mix. We're going to keep moving. Again, all I'm doing is gain staging my files as I'm bringing in the drums, as I'm bringing in the perc. I haven't touched any faders yet. All of the faders are just there, right? They're all sitting right here. As far as keys on this song, all I have is a piano. And we're doing really simple stuff with the piano, just a little boost on the high end, a little bit of chorus, things that I like there. And then on the bus, we're cutting some low end on that, and then running it through just a 3A. I like to bring it down about -3. All right, so it's coming together. I probably need to adjust the gate a little bit on those toms. I'll come back to that in just a little bit. Let's keep moving. Aux, we have quite a few pieces of aux on this track. The aux selected, so let's bring these files in and just drop them in, and then we'll go ahead and gain stage them. I'm just clip gaining all of these down, and so that gives us this. See, man, listen how this is sounding, and I haven't even, I have not touched faders. We hadn't touched faders. So let's keep moving. We haven't added in guitars. Let's bring in, we have one acoustic, so we'll bring that in. All right, we'll bring in lead guitar 1. Here's the rhythm. How thick that wave is. That's going to destroy the compressor. So we're going to bring that down. Then we just kind of check it in different spots. Again, I'm not touching the fader yet. I'm clip gaining and I'm gain staging because I want to get my mix right. Crazy. Listen to how good that sounds. Again, all I've done is drop my files in and clip gain them. Gain staging. That's what we're doing. I have not, I'll show you. I have not touched faders. Everything is at 0 dB. All right, let's bring some vocals in. We don't have no horns in this track.
Let's sing it together.
Oh, clap your hands, shout unto God. Awesome He is. He is the Lord over all the earth. He is the King, King over all. Nations will bow and will declare that He's on the throne. He's on the throne.
You reign.
You reign over all the earth. You reign. Oh, my praise your worth. You reign.
You are God alone.
You are God alone. You reign. God of Abraham. You reign.
You're the great I
You
am.
are the great I am. You reign.
And you're seated.
Seated on the throne.
Come on, oh, clap your hands. Awesome. Woo.
Awesome He is. He is the Lord over all the earth.
So, are y'all hearing this? Are y'all hearing this? All I did was drag my files in, gain stage them. I have not touched faders. Everything's at 0 dB. All of my faders are at 0 dB. I've not touched my faders. All I did is brought my files in. I did my drum replacement, and I gain staged all my files. All I need to do now is go in and start doing some tweaks, go in and start doing some automation, Then I can start touching faders and blending things into the places that I want them to fit in. But everything is there. Like if I dig all, let's go all the way down here to the vamp.
He's on the throne. So we lift our voice and say,
Over all the earth,
on my praise your word. You are God alone. Yes, you are. Oh, you're the God of Abraham. You're the great I am. And you're seated. Now listen, this time, make it vertical. Nations will bow.
I mean, it's starting to feel good already, and I haven't really done anything but just drag my files in and gain stage. So we added with the drums. I got a gate on all of the drums, so you want to probably not on all of the drums, but all of the toms rather. So gating is another efficient way of doing so. So you get in here and see. That's pretty good. See how that's being cut off, this little one right here? That's too much gate. So with something like that, you want to look at it. You want to like kind of select that. This is how you're working with your drums. Let's get this right in here. See, it's cut off, so I want a little bit more hold on that. So it starts sounding natural. So you get that, you know what I mean? Then you go to another tom. Select it, pull up the gate. Let's listen to this one. See if we're making sure we're getting the that one seems to be pretty good. Then we'll listen to this next one. So you got that little bit of that cymbal in there, right? So we want to try to see if we can clean that up. Get a little bit more hold and a little bit less. Let's see how that does for us using the gate. So a situation like this, this is where you would do a manual edit. And that's, gates are not perfect. Sometimes you have to give them a little bit of help. Kind of get that where you want it. And sometimes the way it's recorded is hard, it's difficult to get out. Even because you'll hear it even if I bypass the gate. You know what I mean? But you kind of get the picture. I think the only one we did not mess with is this floor tom. So I can use a little bit more hold on that. So again, this is not an auto mixing template. You still have to mix. This is not going to solve all your problems by opening up a template. This gets you most of the way there. I like that. So we leave it open like that. So now we're just playing around and just listening at raw.
over all the earth, reign. Oh, my praise your words, reign.
God alone.
So you can see how he gets louder as we go through the track. So we could easily split this off for his part where he's lower and bring up, just clip gain him. We don't have to mess with a fader. We don't have to do automation yet, but we bring him up in volume to get him in the front of the track.
You are God alone.
You are God alone. You reign, God of Abraham. You
You're
reign,
the great I
you
am.
are the great I am. Reign,
And you're
seated on the throne.
Come on, oh, clap your hands. Awesome.
Awesome He is. He is the Lord over all the
Over all the earth,
He is the King over all
nations will bow.
nations.
praise.
all my praise, your word. Reign,
You are God alone.
my God alone.
You reign.
God of Abraham,
You're the great I am.
the great I am.
And you're seated.
Seated on the throne.
Come on.
Oh,
Shout unto God. Awesome He is. Over all the earth.
He is the
He
King
is the King.
over all.
Nations will bow.
He's on the
He's on the throne. So we lift our voice and say,
over all the earth.
all my praise your word.
Your word.
We're God alone.
Our God
Yes, you are. Oh, you're the God of Abraham. You're the great I am. And you're seated. Now listen, this time, make it vertical. Nations will bow. You're on the throne, God. Yes, you are. And we say, hey, all my praise your word. You are God alone. Yes, you are. There is no one. Reign. Reign. And you're seated.
So again, this gets you like 60-70% of the way, and then the rest is your taste, your tweaking, your automation. I haven't touched faders. I still have not touched faders yet. Maybe a little bit on that one tom. That's it. Everything else, I got the organ. We ain't even using organ in this track, but the faders are all at 0. I'm not doing anything else with anything else on this track. I literally just the sound that you hear is the sound of the template with files dropped in, properly gain staged files dropped in and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? That is the key, because again, I think I told you guys we have the master section set up here, and we have a trimmer that kind of brings the volume down there. We got impact. These are all stock Pro Tools plugins. Saturation. We got, a little EQ there to raise it and lift it. We got the Fairchild. We got some, mastering EQ going on here. Smack. I love Smack and what it does. And then the Pro Limiter. And check this out. This is really, really cool.
You are God alone.
You can see your lufts here over in this area.
You're the great I am.
So we go here.
There is no one. Reign. Reign.
So this could actually get a little bit louder. We could probably push it into the limiter a little bit more, because we're only at 15 lufs, and the standard for like Spotify is like 14 lufs.
There is no one. Reign.
There we go. We're starting to touch it.
Reign.
Can bring the threshold down a little bit. There we go.
And you're seated.
Now we're at 14 lufs.
So we lift up our voice and say,
Yeah.
you're highly exalted, God.
And that gets us at the standard for like Spotify, Apple Music, negative 14 lufs. You know what I mean? We're right there. And I've done, like, I could print this right now, and it's loud enough to go on Spotify. It's loud enough to go on Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? It's at the standard luff level, as they say, at the standard level for mastering there. So you have a whole master bus. You have a whole setup for that. It's just really, really dope. So appreciate you guys for hanging out with your boy. It's been fun. It's Friday night. I know a lot of you guys are probably hanging out, and some of y'all will catch the replay. So hit me up if you got any questions, if you got any, questions about it or what have you. I'll be glad to answer it.